Hey everybody, Kenny Wisdom here bringing you another Standard Monday. Firstly, let me apologize for the fact that this video is going up on Tuesday instead of Monday. Ran into some problems over the weekend and didn't get a chance to record it, but I think we're all good now, so hopefully a day late won't be too big of a deal. And today we are playing Ben Moscow's Metal Seismitoad deck from the top 8 of US Nationals with one change. I changed a Kecleon to an additional copy of Shaman. Um, I don't know how I feel about Kecleon. It certainly helps the colorless Rayquaza matchup, but I felt like the second Shaman was better here. I guess we'll see what happens in the future. It's possible that I'm just underrating the Kecleon, but thought I would just try the Shaman out, make a slight alteration and see how it went. And yeah, this deck is a kind of a mix between. It's basically just a metal deck that runs a little bit less metal to include two copies of Seismitoad. Um, as you see, we've still got a 4-3 Bronzong line, so pretty thick there, and then we have one Cobalion, one Dialga, and two Aegislash, as well as a single Heatran, a Mewtwo, and a Keldeo. So pretty basic stats there. Like I said, just kind of a metal deck that makes some sacrifices in order to include copies of Seismitoad. We've also got a max potion, escape rope, two battle compressors to get rid of some dead cards, dump some metal into the discard pile, but nothing really strange outside of that. Steel Shelter is a card that some people have gone back and forth on. I personally think it's really good. I know some players that think it's good, I know some players think it's bad. We'll see how it performs for us here. 7 metal I really like. I like putting as much metal as possible as you can into the deck, and I think that for a deck that, is going to have these heavy attackers like Dialga and Aegislash, 7 metal is probably where you want to be. Could even maybe fit an 8th, but that doesn't seem too necessary. We have switch cards, 2 Floatstone and 1 Escape Rope, should be fine. We have the Keldeo to attach a floatstone to, and then, if a Bronzong or something else needs to get a floatstone, we do have a second copy, as well as the escape rope to save us. So yeah, pretty standard outside of that. So we're going to take it into a 8-player standard tournament. Hopefully we do pretty well, and I'll see you then. Hey everybody, Kenny Wisdom here, back for round 1. Alright. Looks like our opponent playing something spooky. Here, it's actually an interesting decision what to start with. I don't actually know. We did see Fire Energy, so we could lose something early. We also have no supporter, though we do have the compressor to get a supporter, so that shouldn't be too big of a deal. I guess we're just gonna start with Heatran, because if we do end up losing him, it'll be the least valuable card. Would like to draw a card. Alright, Kyogre-EX. Interesting. Not sure how we handle this, but I'm just gonna go ahead and drop an N, as well as 2 metal energy. The question, you can definitely drop supporters in here to further the chances of Versus Seekering them back, but I think we're fine. I don't really want to Juniper away a Versus Seeker and a Lysander, so I think I'm just going to take the N here. This is a line of play that I've made more often than most players, I think, so it's, sometimes it's worked out, sometimes it hasn't, but I'm not sure what that says. It's possible that I should just kind of be more aggro there, but not sure. We'll discard like this, I think. Question is if we want to get rid of the 3rd metal or the compressor. I think getting rid of the compressor is fine. And I think I just want the second Bronzer, although we don't have a supporter, so maybe we just want Shaman. Yeah, I'm fine with playing the second Bronzor here over the Seismitoad, and then we have to ship the turn back. So quite a long first turn. Again, ending up with no supporters is not great, but we do have the Heatran that we don't really care if it gets knocked out. We have the Bronzong in our hand. We do actually have a Max Potion too, and our opponent does nothing with their turn. Interesting. Alright, so this could mean something. I think... Unfortunately, we can't... We're going to have to attach here to at least have some semblance of realistically attacking next turn. But I think we can discard like this to get our second Bronzong. And I actually don't know which attacker is better versus Kyogre. I don't know how many. I know that depending on the deck, some of them run between 1 and 3 DCE. But because of our aggressive start, let's see. I guess we're going to go ahead and put them on Dialga. The reason I'll put them on Dialga instead of Aegislash is because Dialga is more realistic to attack for higher damage later. And Aegislash can be really important if our opponent attaches special energy to something later in the game. Not sure if that's 100% correct or not. Ooh, we're asleep. Computer search. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead, ship the turn back. Next turn we can computer search for whatever. And we just have to hope that we draw dead less than our opponent does. So yeah, still it's going to Water Pulse this turn just fine, although waking up would be nice. And I'm fine computer searching like this for Juniper. Junipering for not a whole lot we can play this turn. And yeah, he's going to go ahead and ship the turn back. Our opponent's drawing very, very dead, so eventually they're not going to. Eventually they're going to draw out of this, but hopefully we can get some work done on this Kyogre before that happens. So if he knocks us out this turn, which he did, it sets him back a bit, and then if we promote Dialga, at this point I think we probably want to drop like this. And I don't particularly want to end my opponent when he's drawing dead. So I think it's fine to Juniper. Just be very aggressive here. Let's go ahead and rush in. And double Metal Links. Retreat. And there's no realistic way. Actually, let's just go ahead and 150. If he Mega Evolves or does something tricky, I would rather just put more damage on the board. In the case that... Oh, Pokemon Center Lady. In the case that we can just rush and retreat next turn anyway. Even through this, like, this doesn't matter. Yeah, so we're just going to go ahead and rush in. Metal Links. Metal Links. Retreat and Full Metal Impact. So, not much of a game there. Our opponent legitimately did not do anything. They opened a Kyogre, played Professor's Litter, and then attached energy and played a Pokemon Center Lady. We had a slow start, a kind of a clunky one, which is something that can happen with these metal decks. But I guess, you know, on turn 1, 2, 3. What did we attack on turn 4 or 5? So solidly into the mid game. Definitely, we could have played against decks where that hand does not do a lot for us and we just get destroyed. But we got lucky. Our opponent didn't have anything, and then, excuse me, at the end of the game, we set up the combo, which is basically just Keldeo rush in with an attacker and Metal Links on board. Which is just kind of the beauty of this deck, just being able to go, hey, you know, I missed my first few turns, but we've approached the mid to late game now. I have X amount of energy in my discard pile, I have a few attached, and now I'm just going to, and I have a Keldeo, and now I'm just going to stream huge attacks at you and hope that you can't win, which happened, but we did get pretty lucky. So I'll see you in round 2. Hey everybody, Kenny Wisdom back for round 2. We're going to be going second. And our start is fine. Don't have a great draw supporter, but going second means that our opponent could fill their bench, especially if they're playing Rayquaza. It's very likely they fill their bench to power out Colress. So this matchup, I think, is one of the reasons why you want to have a Kecleon, which, like I said in the intro video, we did cut it. I cut it knowing that this matchup, you know, was popular and could be around. Ooh, a C-Dot, interesting. So that's the risk we take. I think it is possible to beat this matchup. They are just so fast and so aggressive while we are a slower deck, so I think it's not likely that we win, but it's definitely not an auto loss or anything. We just need to play tight and have a more aggressive start than usual. Master Ball and C-Dot are pretty interesting cards out of this deck. So we'll see how that goes. There's an end from our opponent, making our hand fine, I guess. You know, we drop the Keldeo, probably Escape Rope, and then just Juniper away 3 metal. Our opponent has no energy on turn 1, which is really nice. Oh, Keldeo Floatstone, even better. No reason to Escape Rope. Our opponent can just go to their other Rayquaza. Just go ahead and Juniper. Drop in Aegislash. Attach a DCE to Aegislash. Not going to attach the Muscle Band. Don't want to get blown out by a Megaphone if our opponent is playing it. So I guess we will just rush in and pass the turn. I'm rushing in here because I would rather have our Keldeo knocked out and go down to 2 prizes. Or have our opponent go down to 4 prizes, taking 2 prizes, then our Bronzong knocked out and kill our acceleration early. Still possible that our Bronzong gets knocked out, Bronzor gets knocked out, but I would rather, you know, if our opponent takes 2 prizes, we get to end them. Overall, those prizes probably aren't going to be really what sets the game apart, and I think our acceleration is super important here, especially if our opponent's missing energy, which it looks like they might be. Our opponent playing these Shamans, they might have a pretty bad hand if they're going to have to just Mega Evolving and passing. Okay, so let's drop the Bronzor. We'll attach like this. We'll Muscle Band now. I guess we'll just Floatstone a Bronzor, no reason not to really. Alright, now we're cooking. Our opponent has set up in a way where they could discard 1 Shaman, but they can't discard the other off of their bench because it has a DCE, which is pretty much strictly worse for them. Like, they're discarding the Pikachu, which is an attacker that they have, versus a Shaman, which usually isn't too relevant. I'm going to go ahead. Metal Links here. I will play the Toad. It's possible we want to go in with Toad later, and then I'm going to discard like this to get another Aegislash. Ooh, it's prized. So I'm going to discard like this to get a Cobalion then. I'll play the Cobalion. I'm fine with not drawing cards off Shaman here. Let's go ahead and retreat. Doing 100, nothing too special to that Rayquaza, but if they are drawing dead with only 3 cards in their hand, it is possible that we can make some things happen. Shiftry, ooh, and a pass of the turn, nice. So let's go ahead and rush in. So they're playing a really interesting Rayquaza deck, having Shiftry as a backup attacker along with Raichu. Not sure how great that is to kind of split what you're trying to do, but certainly interesting. So they can discard to draw cards, is that it? Discard specifically a Grass Energy, okay. If it was just like an Empoleon discard to draw a card, I might just Lysander it and knock it out to put our opponent on fewer cards, but at this point, I don't think it matters too much, and I'm glad to be solidly ahead in this matchup. Our opponent is going to bounce that Shaman back to their hand, but they're going to do no damage to us, and then we're going to be able to take 2 prizes off Lysandering. Actually, I guess we can't take 2 prizes yet. You're only doing 120 now. Actually, we can. We can go ahead and attach Ultra Ball, I guess, like this, for the second Bronzong. Russian. Meta links it up. Retreat like this. Lysander. And then attack for the knockout. And now we are in a dominant position, but we could still lose here. Our opponent has Shaman to draw cards. They can end us down to 2. And because of the Aegis Slash, it's very unlikely that we lose. We have a big Aegis Slash built up, but it is possible that they draw the right combination of cards and we draw dead and they get us something. If they have a way to remove our Steel Shelter and then put us to sleep or poison us, or I guess just put us to sleep would be bad. If they don't have an N, I have Versus Seeker for Lysander for Shaman, so that shouldn't be too big of a deal. Yep, so it looks like we're just going to go ahead. Lysander, Shaman, and yeah, our opponent's just going to go ahead and concede. So that was an interesting match. Like I said, I don't think the Rayquaza match is great for us, although I'm willing to admit that I could be wrong about that, but this guy just deleted his Rayquaza deck by playing Shiftry, which I think is an interesting card and I kind of like, but not sure if it's great. Our opponent just said not a good win, just lucky to us, so pretty interesting, but I'll see you guys in the finals. Hey everyone, welcome back to the finals. We're going to go ahead and go second here. Hand is very similar to our starting hand we had last time. Not great because we don't have a real draw supporter, but we do have Ultra Ball for Shaman. And we're playing against Rayquaza again, so Colress could be great, but again, I'm not sure if the matchup is great for us, so Water Energy indicates that, woo, discarding all their Sycamores, interesting. Water Energy indicates they're playing, I guess maybe Seismitoad, and passing after attaching is pretty nice. Unfortunately, they didn't open us up to Colressing, but that's okay. So if we Ultra Ball discard 2 cards, we have 4 for Shaman, so let's attach like this. Let's Ultra Ball. Hate to Ultra Ball actually, we can just Ultra Ball Muscle Band and Colress. Find a Shaman. Let's draw 3. Dialga's fine. And we can retreat to our Shaman and pass the turn back. If our opponent can knock out our Shaman, that's unfortunate for us. If they can't and we don't draw anything, we can Sky Return it back to our hand. I'd rather our Shaman get knocked out than our Bronzor and our Dialga, I think. Although it might be right just to send up the Dialga and hope our opponent can't knock us out. Sorry about that, guys. So we are back now. Our opponent has Mega Evolved in the bench and dropped a Swablu, which doesn't really matter for us. We're not trying to affect their weaknesses at all. There's a Shaman, Skyfield, second energy, and opponent can intensifying burn this turn. We're going to go ahead and attach, and we are going to just, I guess we should just attach, Sky Return, sacrifice the Dialga. Although actually, let's see, we do have access to Colress for 7 now, so maybe that's just better. Maybe we attach a Floatstone here, attach like this, Metal Links, Max Potion this, and then Colress for 7. Steel Shelter. Fine dropping the Cobalion. Do we have any metal in here? I can't see my discard, but I don't think I do, so I'm going to go ahead and Compressor for metal. Juniper, just put it in the discard pile. Yeah, 2 metal, actually. Retreat like this. Chrono Wind, 80, our opponent can attack, but that might not be a problem if they just evolve and hit us. So we are stumbling a little bit, but not too much. Our opponent doesn't have a great start either, so not too concerned. But we could certainly lose this match easily. Wow, two Mega Turbos. Opponent just needs one more Pokemon on the bench to knock us out. And maybe they don't have it. Not having it would be pretty nice. Oh, well, okay. So they were just sandbagging the callers for 8, so gotta imagine they have it now. Mega Evolve. Not great for us, but expected. Battle Compressor can hit an execute here if they don't have one, so it just kind of gets them a free bench if they do have the execute in their deck. Hey guys, so had a bit of a video and audio issue there, and I ended up losing due to timing out. So because you guys didn't really get the full scope of that match, although we probably would have lost anyways, as you can see we got a trophy and some packs, I'm going to go ahead and play a ranked match or 2 for you guys here versus. So I did a video about this mode, but I think it's really fun. I haven't done too much of it. As you can see, I'm only do 145 points, but I think it's a really fun mode, and I know this isn't the tournament. I apologize for that error. We've never really had an error like that before, but we'll go ahead and play one of these matches to kind of make it up so you can see the deck in action, and it'll earn me some points as well. Let's go Tails. Alright, we're going to go second in this match. Opponent has the Psychic Sleeves. I haven't done any of that, actually. I really like the Versus mode, but I just kind of haven't gotten my head around doing any of the challenges. As you can see on my main page of my account, I was only level 2 or something. So, not too concerned with that, although I guess I would like to do it at some point. I just never really do the challenges or whatever that I need to be able to do it. Hands are not great. I'm going to start with Cobalion. just to see if we can get some free righteous edges on our opponent. We also really can't discard with this hand because we don't want to discard the Bronzongs, but hey, we got in, so nice. Ooh, a special energy. Perfect. So what did he actually hit us with then? Oh, they can draw. They draw two. Okay. Let's go ahead and attach. Fine with battle compressing. 2 metal and an N. Muscle band as well. Let's draw a few cards with shame, and our opponent concedes. All right, so we'll play another matchup. Opponent might have conceded after he realized what Righteous Edge did, or yeah, a lot of people I feel like on the ladder concede when they just don't think they'll win, so that they kind of have the value of being able to churn through matches, even if they're losing them. You know, the matches that they lose, they're only wasting a minute on, so they can theoretically win more matches later. I don't know what the best strategy for that is. I haven't really kept up with any of that stuff, but let's play another one here for you. Giving you guys an extra little bit of value here because of the mistake, and also that game wasn't too great. Alright, Palmera's FC. So our opponent has the advantage coin, which means that if we win, we'll get 15 points rather than 10, which I think is a cool little mechanic built into this mode. We would like to go first. It kind of is reminiscent of ELO back in the day, where if you beat someone that was better than you, you would gain more points. Or sorry, if you beat someone that was higher ranked than you, you would gain more points because you were, they had an advantage and they should have beaten you if ELO was representative of play skill. So kind of just adds a little bit of incentive there. All right, so again, not a great hand. Actually, let's go ahead and discard. This is tough. Discard like this, I think, to find a Shaman. Shaman to draw 3 cards. Can't really do much else. Next turn I'll likely Escape Rope and Sky Return with Shaman, so let's just go ahead and end the turn. Don't really want to waste a metal energy on something. Not going to attack with any of these Pokemon besides the Shaman, which doesn't matter as far as metal's concerned. Oh nice, our opponent just has nothing going on. Let's evolve Escape Rope here. No reason not to Muscle Band, just for a little bit of extra value. And I'm fine just promoting the Keldeo again. Bronzong is more important, and even though our opponent does have lasers, which could potentially lock us out, we're going to draw some more cards with Shaman next turn. Ooh, and our opponent drew an Ultra Ball, which is going to get them right back into this game via Shaman, so looks like our opponent was, gonna draw pretty weak, but when you Shaman for 4, you should be able to get things going, which I think is good. I think it's, I think Shaman is, probably a little bit too powerful, but I think that having cards that can get you back into the game after a bad start are good. You want to increase the number of good games, or, games that go to a significant amount of turns. Scooped up the Shaman to reset it, draw more cards, Muscle Band on the active. Ultra Ball might just get a Mega here. It could get a Shaman if he wants to draw more cards, which is what he's doing, but a Mega there also wouldn't be a bad play. Just Mega Evolve and get on with it. There's a switch to the other one. Still no energy? Okay, Sycamore. So, through all my opponent drawing all those cards, I just didn't realize I hadn't played a supporter yet, so that's really the power of cards like Shaman and Ultra Ball, is just, our opponent drew, I think, 6 cards there without playing a supporter, which is not bad. Do we have any metal in the discard? Can't check. No, I guess not. We haven't played anything. I guess I'm fine attaching like this and then muscle banding here just to draw more cards. Alright, so we can Toad Ultra Ball like this to find a Shaman. Oh, I've already attached, which I attached to the Keldeo this turn, so it makes it a little bit worse. Let's just go ahead and Colorus. So not the best hand I've ever seen, but not the worst either. It's going to get another Bronzor here. Something is going to get knocked out before our attackers become too relevant, so I'm fine finding the other Bronzong when we have the finding the other Bronzor when we already have the other Bronzong in hand, and then letting something get knocked out and then playing an attacker in that slot. AZ's the Shaman to put down a Zubat. Let's just go ahead and Colorus for a bunch here. Was hoping that would hit a Floatstone, but let's just go ahead and computer search for it. Go ahead and Metal Links here. Wish that I had another attacker to make value out of this other Metal Links, but we did choose to fill our bench this way. Let's go ahead and retreat. And just Quaking Punch for 50. Opponent's coming up a little bit dry on energy, so hopefully that continues. Having this tool attached here is not wise. It's possible I should have just held it, knowing I was playing against Manectric, but we'll see. We're going to take some Golbat damage there. And opponent not up to too much. It's possible, so one thing that I think I've talked about in videos before is the fact that PTCGO will often do this thing, like I think it's doing now, where it looks like it's, oh no, I guess our opponent's actually inactive. What I was going to say is PTCGO does this thing sometimes where it looks like our opponent's inactive, and then when you look, it's actually counting down your clock and making it so that it's using your time, which is unfortunate. But it looks like we just won that game just like that. Alright, so we're going to play one more just to even things out for you guys. We've only given you, I guess, one real game. This game was good, but so the first match was not good. Second match was fine. Third match didn't finish. Fourth match, our opponent conceded. In this match, our opponent also went inactive. So, all right, we'll play one more. So, hopefully 6 matches, even if they're all not great, is good for you guys. I apologize for the mishaps. And we're going to play second. Oh, we get to play first. Awesome. Wow. Crushing Hammers, 0-6, and fighting stuff. Alright. Interesting. When our opponent has Crushing Hammer is not sure Heatran's the best Pokemon to start with, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and attach. Gonna take an N here because I don't want to Juniper away 2 versus Seeker. Would rather just use 1 on the N. Versus Seeker. And Ultra Ball like this to find a Shaman, and hopefully we can find Bronzors here. That's what we're looking to draw. I'm fine with Ultra Balling like this to find a Bronzor. I don't think our opponent has Seismitoad, so we can just versus Seeker the supporters back and go ahead and pass the turn back. So we did see our opponent had a strong energy, which means that Aegislash could be a quality card, so if we can, evolve next turn, Metal Links, find a DCE, we can start attacking. Don't know what Gliscor does at the top of my head, so that's going to be a problem, but hopefully it doesn't do anything too insane. I feel like if it had a really interesting effect, I would already know about it. This guy just paralyzes on a flip. Ooh, and poisons on a flip. Nice. Tails, nice. Alright, so I wish I hadn't discarded that Steel Shelter now. Oh, I didn't. Oh, maybe I ended away. Either way, wish I hadn't done that. Don't really want to end, so I guess I'm just gonna go like this, grab a Juniper. Alright, let's attach like this. And our opponent just concedes again. Alright, so definitely I guess a problem with the ladder now that I've been playing it a little bit more is concessions like these. I haven't seen that too often before, but I guess it's happening. But either way, hope you guys got a good view of the deck, even though you didn't get the greatest games. Hopefully you just got enough turns to see how the deck works. And let me know what deck you want to see on Expanded Friday coming up on Friday and next week's Standard Monday. My name is Kenny Wisdom, and thank you for watching.